what's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's your boy Noname back at it again with another New York Giants video. And as of right now, news is dry, guys, but don't worry, I'll be here. I'll be here talking about things. I'll be here to put out videos and put out content for you guys. Even though I must admit the news is pretty dry. I mean, I could have done another DeAndre Baker video because of that thing that happened with Quentin Dunbar's lawyer and DeAndre Baker's lawyer. But I feel like we needed a break from all of that, like, sort of negativity and the legal issues and whatnot. I want to talk about some actual Giants football stuff. And what I'm about to address in this video, should the Giants be looking at Everson Griffen as a potential pass rusher to add on to the team, is something that came up in my live stream that I did, I think it was Tuesday, with Kid Blue. It was a great live stream. Once again, if you guys haven't checked out the replay, go and check it out. It was something that came up, was a very interesting idea, and it has intrigued me ever since. And also, don't forget, guys, tonight I will be live on Bad Dog's channel doing the second Giants Roundtable live stream talk. It's going to be me, Chris Giannatena, of course, Bad Dog as the host, OGR Sports, Kid Blue RB27, Rover Sports, and I'm not sure yet, but apparently Cop Pizzle is supposed to also come on to the show. I'm not sure if they actually confirmed that and whatnot, but that's supposed to happen tonight. At the very least, you're going to have the 6 guys that were there for the previous roundtable when we were talking about the draft. We're going to be talking about DeAndre Baker, I'm sure, just the current going-ons of the Giants and the NFL and whatnot. The last one was an absolute smash hit. Had a really great time with those guys, and I'm looking forward to it again. Make sure you tune in. But let's get into the topic today of the Giants and Everson Griffen. Now, like I said, this was something that came up in that live stream, and it piqued my interest, and it got me thinking a lot, right? Because obviously Everson Griffen is probably the second best pass rusher still on the market right now. If you want to count Marcus Golden is still on the market, I would say he's like the third best pass rusher on the market, right? It would go Jadeveon Clowney, who's somebody that I've talked about a lot of times, and I have several videos out on him, whether or not the Giants should consider him and how they would go about signing Jadeveon Clowney to the team. And honestly, Jadeveon Clowney is the best fit for the Giants. He could play 4-3 defensive end and 3-4 outside linebacker. Really good and versatile. It's just the injury problems and of course the money that he's demanding. And then after Jadeveon, you'd have Everson Griffen here, and after Everson, you'd have Marcus Golden, who the Giants have that weird, tender tag on where he's basically signed by us unless another team signs him, and then we got a comp pick. There was a lot of technicalities in that I'm not sure I want to go into right now, but right in the middle of those guys is Everson Griffen, a very proven pass rusher in the NFL. Unlike Jadeveon Clowney, a very healthy pass rusher in the NFL, but he is older, and so you're signing this guy. Everson Griffen is 32 years old. You're obviously going to be thinking about how much gas in the tank is left in Everson Griffen's tank. Is he going to, fall off soon? Is he going to come in? Is this going to be his down year, or does he still have a good amount of stuff left in there? And well, judging off of last year for the Vikings, he had 41 total tackles, 8 sacks, 24 quarterback hits, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 interceptions for the Minnesota Vikings. So just last year, he had a pretty good season, and that's kind of one of the reasons why people were surprised when he left the Vikings. And that's right, he left the Vikings. It's not like the Vikings cut him or anything, or maybe there was some talk behind the scenes and the Vikings were like, to make it look less messy, could you be the one that officially leaves? I don't know, but if he was cut by the Vikings, it would show that maybe they don't have faith in him. Maybe they're saying, hey, you're getting a bit older, we think it will be best to move on. We think the guys we have that are younger with more potential are the way to go right now. But he was the one that stepped out of I think he had like a 3-year, $58 million contract. That's a lot of money, and at his age, that would have been a nice contract to play off of and maybe go into retirement with. But he was the one that decided to opt out and leave. Why he did that, I'm not sure. Maybe he wants to play somewhere else, but I don't see that happening. I think Everson has been with the Vikings his entire career, and it's not exactly like the Vikings are a bad organization that, mistreats its players and whatnot. Maybe he wants to go somewhere warmer before he retires. He's been linked to places like Dallas. Maybe he just wants a different, scene change. He's tired of the cold. He's been linked to the Seahawks. Who knows? But he was the one that opted out, and of course, Minnesota could be a team that re-signs him on a cheaper deal. We've seen this happen before with older veteran players, where they basically find a way to get out of the really expensive contracts that the teams give them, and them as a player, just being a good player, they're willing to take a pay cut and come back on a much cheaper contract. That could happen also. But in this scenario, let's say it doesn't, and the Giants go after him, or should they go after him? It's a question that I'm not quite sure how to answer, because as we know, he's very much a 4-3 defensive end. Unlike Jadeveon Clowney, in my opinion, he doesn't have that versatility to also play 3-4 outside linebacker. He's bigger than Clowney, I think, 6'3", 275 pounds. And that's going to be quite a bit of size to try and get out there to be used as a outside linebacker. Just the way his frame is built, very stout, very muscular. And the way he plays football, that physical power football that he plays, he's been used to playing with his hand in the dirt for essentially his entire career. He's never played with his hands up, and running versus hand in the dirt and rushing. So even if he was a bit smaller, I still think it would be a bad idea to shift him over to 3-4 outside linebacker, where he'd then have to completely adjust at 32 years old, and God knows how long left he has in his career, or how long he plans to play, basically at the tail end of his career, asking him to not only learn a new playbook as he's going to be going to a new team, but essentially learn how to be a different player as a 3-4 outside linebacker. With that being said, no matter what the Giants do with him when they bring him over here, he's going to automatically be our best pass rusher. He's better than Marcus Golden. He's better than an unproven Kyler Fackrell. He's better than Lorenzo Carter has been for these past 2-3 years, obviously. And he's better than O'Shane Ximines. Obviously, Ximines was just a rookie, but I strongly believe Griffen is miles better than any of these guys. And with 8 sacks last year at 32 years old, with 41 tackles, even an interception, 2 forced fumbles, these numbers are prime number 1 edge rushing numbers. And if he could replicate that, obviously going to be an amazing season for the Giants defense, because he's going to help out not only the secondary guys, give them a bit more time to cover these receivers and whatnot, because he's getting to the pass rush. He's getting to the quarterback, but he's obviously going to be a great locker room presence. Everson Griffen is a really good character guy, and you never hear anything bad about him in the media. You never hear anything bad about him from his teammates. In fact, if you go on the Giants, if you go on the Vikings YouTube channel, which the Vikings have probably one of the best NFL, YouTube channels out there. I'm just going to say it. They have really entertaining series. Well, at one point they had a series called, I think it was 91 Questions or something like that. And frequently Everson Griffen would appear on the show, and it was like a little small show where one of the Minnesota Vikings players would go around and ask all the locker room guys, all the players random questions. And Everson Griffen would always be in there, and he always looked like a really fun dude to be around. Nice guy. He was chatting with the guys in the locker room and whatnot. And in general, for Minnesota, he's been nothing but good character, good guy. So I completely believe he would be a good leader and just a nice presence to have in the locker room that's going to rub off on the pass rushing room. That's both outside linebackers and the defensive linemen. Speaking of which, if he's coming on to the Giants, or if the Giants bring him on, I should say, he would be on the defensive line. I believe he'll be playing opposite of Leonard Williams. And a pass rushing duo, even on the defensive line, of Everson Griffen and Leonard Williams is something scary. And I believe that is one of the ways Leonard Williams could get sacks and actually, could actually capitalize on all the, the pressures he didn't really get to have last year, and all the plays he freed up for other players. Now Everson Griffen's going to be doing that for Leonard Williams, and maybe we have Griffen come on. He has maybe like 6 sacks, and Leonard Williams has like 8 sacks or something, and that's going to be amazing. And that only helps out the outside linebackers. Whatever the Giants do with Everson Griffen, I believe he's going to help the team out no matter what, right? But then you bring into question, if he's starting on the defensive line now, who are you benching, right? I don't want to bench Dalvin Tomlinson. He was our best defensive player last year, the most underrated defensive player last year, and definitely underappreciated. I really want to keep Dalvin Tomlinson on this team. He's one of the best nose tackles in the league. Yes, he's quite honestly a pure nose tackle, right? Pure run stuffer, but that's still something extremely valuable to have on the Giants. Playing in the NFC East, a team with very strong running games, and in the NFL that in general has been getting stronger with the running game, right? So I don't want to sit Dalvin Tomlinson, and I want to keep him on board. I don't want to sit Dexter Lawrence either. Dexter Lawrence coming off an amazing rookie year, one of the best defensive rookies from last year. He has pass rush potential, and I've said that since Lawrence was drafted. People, for some reason, thought he was just a pure nose tackle, and he wasn't. In college, he had the pass rushing ability. He showed it. In the NFL in his rookie year, he showed it a little bit. Definitely needs to be improved upon. But Dexter Lawrence is a young dude that I do not want to sit. I want him to continue to get exposure and continue to start, right? So then if you got your two guys starting there, where does Griffen fit in? Well, considering his age, maybe you keep him on pitch count, you know? Maybe you don't have him out there for all 3 downs. Maybe you have him out there only for specifically, you know, just pass rushing downs. Maybe you mix it up a little, and sometimes you have a set of Williams, Lawrence, and Griffen out there where Dalvin Tomlinson is sitting out a couple plays. Maybe that's what they do. But that's definitely something that the Giants would have to consider and figure out if they think about bringing him in. And maybe I should have said this in the beginning. There's no type of reports out there saying the Giants are going to bring this guy in. There's no type of, you know, anything, rumors, whatever you want to say that's connecting Everson Griffen to the Giants. Is just a idea that came up in the stream and that I found very intriguing, and I think it's something worth looking at, right? He's gonna be pretty cheap. I think he's gonna come in less than Clowney, obviously, because Clowney's a better player, and right now Clowney is going for around $13 to $15 million. So I think Griffen is gonna go for like $7 to $10 million. Sign him on a 1-year, 2-year deal. You bring him in, it's only going to help the guys in the locker room. It's going to help these guys develop and learn, and it's going to help out the defense because he's clearly still has some gas left in the tank. Let me know what you guys think. Just an interesting idea I wanted to get into a little bit. Put your comments down below. Do you think the Giants should go after Griffen? Like I said, I'm not too sure about it, but there's certainly a lot of things that need to be worked around and considered if they do. And that's it for now. I'm out. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Put your comments down below. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Until next time, I'm out. Yeah.